Hi you guys. How has your last weeks been? I know it's been challenging and rather intense for many people. And as I mentioned in my last video, I went into a trance channeling, asking the blue beings that I channel about this, what has actually been going on and what is happening on an energetic level. And I decided, because it was a rather long channeling, so I decided to divide information into two videos. So this is the first one, and then what I will be explaining in this video is also connected to the Akashic records, and how that connection is I will go into in the next video relating to this channeling. Now, what I said, and the change really that happened was around 22nd of February, around that time. I know many people reached out to me. I also saw it in people around me, in my own experience, that very many people experience very sudden changes or shifts around that time and in the weeks that has been after. That can have been like situations in our lives. It can have been sudden health issues, sudden anxieties, mental, emotional challenges that has been like very, very sort of abrupt changes or sudden things coming up or being triggered. What I said is that what's happening is that there are changes in the brain structure. I do have quite some notes, so I will be looking down at my notes sometimes during this, because when I listen to the channeling, as you guys know if you've followed me for a while, I do have to record the channeling because I don't remember after coming out what was actually said. And I do need to take some notes when I'm going through it, because it's so much information and I need to like really focus it into to taking out the essence of it and some of a structure. So bear with me as I'm trying to make this very clear for you guys. They said that what is happening is actually a change in the brain structure. And what I said is that it has to do with the tree of soul. So they said that the body, or the main, like the trunk of the tree, is the Sushumna. So this is the energetic column in the center of our bodies, which is like the main chakra system is through the Sushumna, this column of light in the center of us. And the branches are going into the vast ocean of consciousness, the quantum field really. And the roots obviously grounding our bodies and our energy into the earth. And I said, what has happened around last half of February and onward is that the branches that are going out from the tree of the soul is currently being rewired, upgraded, basically connected to the awareness of the trunk, which is the Sushumna. This means that what has happened is that as these branches, if we see the trunk moving through the body, and the branches are going into the quantum field, it's going into everything that is, all potential. It hasn't been fully open to the trunk. What has happened is almost like a veil has lifted, or it's what is the word? I can't remember the word. But if the water is stopped by something and you open this thing and the water just flows out, this is what has happened. There's so much more energy moving in because this has been lifted, and much more force in the water, or in the energy coming in through the branches and into our main column, and then being grounded into the earth. And they said that anything that is not conducive to your growth will be moved out of your system. And that can be rather challenging. They said that this is really about the human vessel developing, which is the body. Because you as consciousness are inhabiting the human vehicle, and allowing it, if you so choose, they said, to connect to the greater universe in a very different way than previously. So there is much more of a potential of greater awareness and greater connection to everything that is in a conscious experience. We have always been connected, but so much has been out of our conscious awareness, or out of the reach of what we can actually directly experience or become aware of. They said that grounding your energy that is coming into your body, so your soul, your light, your consciousness, grounding that through that trunk of the tree, through that shushumna, your body, and into the earth, is one of the most helpful things to do now. Because the body is of the earth, and we have actually chosen to come into this body now, partly because we are developing the human vehicle, the human body. And the human body needs our light to be in it, and us to be in the body, clearing the patterns, the programming, the conditions, the emotions, what is held in the DNA, the ancestral lines. All of these are things that are being cleared now, so that the human vessel, the human body, can develop, and the technologies in the body starting to come online, and the body being less dense. So they call this like a huge, like grand growth period and evolution on the earth. And anything that is disconnecting you from your body or from the earth is not in favor of your development. Anything that brings you into your body and connects you with the earth is very much in favor of your development. So become really aware. What helps you to really come into your body? Embodiment is huge. We want to allow that energy to come into the physical body, to clear, to activate, to upgrade everything through the physical body and ground it into that earth, so that the physical body starts changing as a part of this evolution that we are in. So what for you specifically helps you to bring you into your body? What makes it so that you actually want to be in the body? What makes you super present? What brings you right here, right now? What is your joy? What is it that makes you like really, really want to be in the body? Because becoming aware of those things and having that in your toolbox, as the changes and shifts are just as they keep coming, sorry, it's going to be very helpful for you. And also anything connecting you with the earth, which means any grounding exercises or tools for grounding that you use. Become really aware of what those are and remember to use them. Being in nature, being barefoot on the ground, connect with the animals, being in the waters on the earth, like anything that connects you. It really helps the flow of this energy, because we're not supposed to have this energy only coming like into our minds or into like a part of our body, and then we disconnect it from the earth. That is really challenging for the physical body. We need to let the body connect it into the earth to allow that flow to move through. It's super important. What they said, because when they in the channelings they do use a lot of metaphors or analogies when they explain things, and they said that it's like the main chapter that recently was closed, because this is what happened at that time, around that time in February. There was one chapter that was closed in the book of the evolution of the human vessel. So what is happening now has to do with the human vessel, as I said. It's not about, like, there are many things that are developing at the same time. There are many different areas, but what has happened now in February has to do with the evolution of the human vessel, the human physical body. And the chapter in that part of the book, or in that book specifically, that has to do with the human body, the chapter that we recently closed had to do with the trunk. So what we have been in has been mainly things that have been about becoming aware of the main, like, chakra system, becoming, like, clearing things in this. But what we are now moving into has to do with all these branches connecting us to the quantum field, to that ocean of consciousness. Now, this does not mean that we are fully developed or fully aware of and fully conscious of the trunk part of the tree, the energetic channel. But it means that has been, like, the main focus in the body, but now what is happening with the body has to do with all these branches out. Because the current energetics, they said, I'll just read up this part, the current energetics opening the flow, connecting you to all the branches moving out of the trunk through the upper energetic centers. And these branches that are moving out from the trunk, from you, are moving into other star systems. They're moving into what we term as past lives, or what we term as future lives. They are really moving into the quantum field. And they said that for many people, the first meeting with a quantum field can feel much like a factory. It's just that it is beyond what the mind can conceive of. And this is huge, you guys. And this is going to be so exciting to follow in the time coming. Because what I said is that these branches, it's almost like you can watch them as antennas, but I will use the branches as this is what I explained in channeling. They are reaching new awarenesses because they're moving into the quantum field. This means that previously known knowledge, or what we term as ancient wisdom and knowledge, can be reached, things we have sort of forgotten about. It also means that there will be completely new discoveries, and this is really exciting. They said that there are parts of the quantum field that we are now reaching. It's not because we haven't been connected with it before, we have, but it has been too blocked in a way for this energy to come into the trunk of the tree, into our human vessel and into our awareness. So it has always been there, but we have been completely blind to it because the energy hasn't been coming into us. But now these branches are actually going out. It is reaching those fields, which means that there can be this part of the branch coming to one, like, pocket in the quantum field with completely new awareness. Reach something that has not previously been in the human awareness. So completely new discoveries, and this is super exciting, I think. They also said that what this means, if we then take it into the human vessel, is that what is happening is that we are creating new patterns in the brain. And when new patterns are being created in the brain, what happens? It can be resistance. We sometimes tend to be resistant to those kind of things. This was really weird. Something happened with my camera. I don't know if that will be on the video. Anyways. And it can be a bit chaotic because there's changes, and we know how our human sometimes can be with that. It also means that emotional addictions can be really triggered. as these new branches, it's almost like what they said is that if you see like you have the trunk and then you have branches going out, right? And then from one branch, it's like it's opening another branch out from that. So it's like more branches out from one branch. And you can see this as the neural pathways in the brain. So what is happening now is that new neural pathways in the brain are being affected, are being created, so all the neural pathways in the brain are being affected without conscious action. Because we know that, and there's a lot of science on this, that when we want to train ourselves into something new, we can like move out of a pattern when we have a new awareness of what is actually going on, or a belief system or whatever, and we can start training our thoughts and creating new neural pathways in the brain, and start really shifting and changing, which is very helpful for healing, for example, because it changed the chemistry in the brain, which changes everything and the whole balance in the body. When we're doing it like that, we're doing it very consciously. We are becoming aware, we are changing it, we are practicing, and really like starting to consciously walk into this new path in our brain, a new neural pathway, and we're practicing walking that one instead of the old highway that doesn't lead where we want to go. Now the neural pathways are being affected without any conscious action, and not by programming, because obviously we have a lot of programming, conditioning, which is subconscious, and this is not the same, because that is coming from the human conditioning. Now this is energetic, it's frequencies, it's more of that of the universe sort of moving into us, so the changes are happening from that direction. This is the big difference. What happens when all of this energy is coming into the through the branches into our trunk, and what is happening in our brains and in our bodies, is that it amplifies anything that needs to be moved out. And any thought patterns that are not conducive for your growth or for the collective will be triggered. And they normally don't give me any specific timelines, but in this channeling they actually did. And I said that this will be going on until 2027. So this will be an ongoing theme, until 2027, which is some of what we have been experiencing when this change in the chapter happened and is opened around mid-end of February, is that there can be mental, physical and emotional challenges, and these can be very abrupt, very sudden. Because if we have like a neural pathways to make it, I'm just simplifying it now. If we have a neural pathway that goes like in the brain like this, and there's a connection here, and it's not really supposed to be, like this is a connection which is a limiting belief, and the energy has been moving through these neural pathways most of our lives, and we're just used to it. It's just like the way we think life is, and we're maybe not aware of it, probably not. And as this is moving through, and this is a pattern, this is a connection in our brain that is not conducive for your own growth, and it's not a pattern that is conducive for the collective of the human. And there's so much more energy. Remember that thing opened and the water is just flowing, so there's much more force in the energy coming in. This will break, because it's not solid enough to take the energy coming in. So that will amplify and trigger anything that is the bridge between those two parts connecting in that pathway. Does this make sense? if it doesn't make sense, please ask in the comments, and I will explain more in the next video what was not clear to you in this video, because I think this is really helpful to understand. Now, when this happens, that can create very acute, very sudden, urgent physical issues, because those physical issues will be connected to that belief or to that pattern. And as that is sort of just being blown up, that can create very sudden physical experiences, like they mentioned, like illnesses, diseases, anxieties, mental challenges, very like emotional overwhelm. These kind of things can happen. So if you have experienced this, or if this has been an experience for people around you, know that on an energetic level, this is what is happening. And then the second part of this, which I will be coming back to in another video, is that how this happens and how this develops on an individual level in the human is also connected to the Akashic records. And how that connects to the Akashic records, how this is happening, I will be coming back to in a later video. I really hope this was more or less clear to you guys, or very clear. And please ask if something is not clear. And as always, as I said in the beginning as well, please share in the comments, because I really enjoy reading your comments, and it also gives me more of an understanding of where you're at, and I can sort of I can adapt what I'm telling in order more to where you are at. Now, this is the reason why I'm almost not able to speak now, is that I'm so connected to the energy of the channeling. So I'm starting to go out of it, and I'm talking more like normal. It's challenging. It's a bit of a mess in the brainwaves. Hope this was clear, you guys. Hope it was helpful for you. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It's very helpful for my work and for the videos to circulate. I really, really appreciate you guys for being here. I do love my work, and I am so happy that people are receiving it. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.